Hi, it's Christina with the Sisyphean Journal. Today's August 24th, and we are going to look at the first known victim of abortionist Dr. Hagenow. Now, eventually she became most notorious by the name Lucy Hagenow, but at the time we're looking at, which was 1887, she was working under the name Louisa Hagenow. And Hagenow, like her first known victim, was a German immigrant, and really that's all I know about her prior to this point, is that she was a German immigrant living in San Francisco. Now, Louise Dirchow was 23 at the time she had her unfortunate and fatal encounter with Dr. Hagenow. She'd been born in a village near Hamburg, Germany, and sometime in the mid-1880s, she moved to San Francisco and took up work as a domestic servant in the home of a Mrs. Steinhardt. And she was courted by another German immigrant, a barkeep named Henry Peckelhoff, and everybody who knew the couple anticipated that they'd be married soon. And in early August of 1887, Louise moved in with Henry and began using his surname. On August 9th, of 1887, Louise told Peckelhoff that she was pregnant, and he told her to go to Dr. Louisa Hagenow's maternity hospital at 19 12th Street in San Francisco to be examined. Now, from what I understand, the facility was a maternity hospital. She did deliver babies there, but she seemed every bit as willing to abort them as deliver them alive. So Louise was admitted, and Peckelhoff later said that she seemed well when he visited her there until something went wrong when Louise died at about 1 a.m. on Monday, August 21st. Peckelhoff went to an undertaker, Mr. Sir, at around 2 a.m. saying that he needed a burial for his wife. So the undertaker's assistant removed Louise's body from Hagenow's establishment at about 3 a.m., then went to get a death certificate from Hagenow. The Assistant Secretary of the Health Department refused to issue a burial permit with a death certificate signed by Hagenow because she was on a list of illegal practitioners. So clearly she was already known as an abortionist at this point, although it doesn't seem from the news coverage that there had been a maternal death linked to her yet. So the clerk said that Dr. S.S. Kahn was authorized to examine the body and issue a death certificate if no qualified physician could sign one. So Mr. Sir said that he could get a new certificate signed by a properly qualified physician. So the undertaker's assistant at Hagenow went looking for Dr. F.F. Diderke, who had also attended Louise. They couldn't find him, so Louisa Hagenow's cook forged Dr. Diderke's signature on the death certificate, identifying the dead woman as Louise Peckelhoff in order to get the health department to accept the death certificate and issue the burial permit, which was finally released at 3 p.m. The funeral was held only an hour later. Now, because of the suspicious circumstances surrounding Louise's death, the city physician disinterred her remains and performed an autopsy at the Oddfellow Cemetery on September 1st. He found what was termed conclusive evidence of an abortion with inflammation caused by an instrument. Hagenow insisted that Louise had shown up at her door already seriously ill and bleeding heavily. Prior to her death, Hagenow admitted Louise was delivered of a 4-month fetus. She also admitted that the young woman had died of peritonitis. All told, Hagenow was tried 3 times in Louise's death and acquitted in the 3rd trial after 2 hung juries. But that was around the time she was being investigated in the abortion deaths of Annie Doris and Abia Richards, as well as for the suspicious death of Emma Depp shortly after discharge from Hagenow's maternity home. The 3rd acquittal was largely attributed to the death of the state's star witness, a journalist who had originally broken the story. One of Peckelhoff's friends helped him to go through Louise's possessions and found the necessary address to write to her friends in Germany about her death. So after all this, Hagenow relocated to Chicago and began piling up corpses there as well. She was implicated in quite a number of abortion deaths, including Minnie Deering, Sophia Kuhn, Emily Anderson, Hannah Carlson, Marie Hecht, Mae Putnam, Lola Madison, Annie Horvitich, Lottie Lowy, Nina Pierce, Jean Cohen, Bridget Masterson, Elizabeth Welter, and Mary Moorhead. She was convicted of Mary Moorhead's death, won a new trial on appeal, but she was so old and decrepit that the judge just told her, go make peace with God. And she disappeared from the public view at that point.